Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Minecraft mod showcase. This mod is the Elemental Swords mod. Now, this adds various swords, each with their own effect, into the game. The one I'm having in my hand right now is called the Fire Sword, which basically shoots out flames in 4 directions. It'll also give you fire resistance. Now, it'll burn anything nearby. Just a little brush fire, ignore that. It will do pretty much nothing else. Each blade as you go on does different effects. Some even combine certain blade effects. Some of them, however, are just not good to create. Like, you can't use them, but you can hit stuff with them and deal much more damage than usual. For instance, the Dark Sword. The Dark Sword, you just hit stuff with it. If you right-click, bad stuff happens. You go blind. It gives you blindness, but it also gives you invisibility and night vision, which doesn't exactly help when you're completely and totally blind. So, let me just drink some milk. And moving on to the next sword is the Earth Sword. Now, the Earth Sword, much like its name suggests, if you right-click, it spawns dirt around you in a small protective circle of 4. It will also give you resistance. The next sword is called the Ender Sword, and like its name suggests, it's basically a sword of teleportation. If you right-click, it throws a teleporting Ender Pearl. It doesn't do anything else, unfortunately, but it is pretty effective. Say if you're in the Nether and you fall into the lava all of a sudden, you see a ledge just above you as you're burning to death. You right-click with the Ender Blade. Boom, you're teleported to safety. And the next blade is the Light Sword. Now this sword is kind of effective. If you right click, it adds night vision and invisibility. So you can basically just be an invisible beast during the middle of the night. It also deals a lot of damage and gives bad effects to everything around you. Then next one's the Meteor Sword. Can't exactly remember what this one does. Oh yes, it basically summons a gassed fireball. It can be pretty effective, but hard to aim it. Like, it's extremely hard to aim it, as it can sometimes veer off course or just hit objects in front of you for no apparent reason. Like, so you can hit grass, even. The next one's called the Peaceful Nature Sword. This one spawns 4 log stacks. Useful if you need some wood. Otherwise, it just gives you resistance, like the other blades. Let me drink this. And there's the Thunder Sword. Now, the Thunder Sword is actually dangerous. The Thunder Sword, and let me go to game mode 0 here in a second. Game mode 0, excuse me. Mode 0. It will damage you when you right click it. Like, it'll summon down lightning. It won't damage you too bad, it'll damage you about 1.5 hearts, if I remember correctly. Ooh, a lot more than I recall if you're unarmored. It will also give you speed. Pretty sweet, huh? Now, if you're wearing armor, it's much less dangerous. Now, let me just switch back to game mode 1. Toss these other devices back into the holes they came from. And we'll start with some new elemental blades, which are the Water Sword, Wild Nature Sword, Wind Sword, Thunderstorm Sword, Ice Sword, Meteoric Thunderstorm, Ender Fire, Ender Thunder, Ender Wind. Yeah, there's hundreds of these. The Water Sword is actually a bit of annoying. It'll spawn 4 different water sources, which will lag my computer out, so I'll run away from that. It won't really do much else. It will give you water breathing, however. So say if you're underwater and you don't really care, you just right click and boom, it spawns you some water breathing. It won't do anything because it's already water sources. Next up is the Wild Nature Sword, which spawns 4 cacti and gives you resistance like the other blades. Let me just toss these. Then there's the Wind Sword, which basically makes you jump like a beast. It adds jump boost, speed, and nothing else. So it basically just makes you leap through the skies like a god. Let me remove this from my inventory. Then there's the Thunderstorm Sword. I'm not certain what difference this has from the Storm, just the basic Thunderblade. Oh, that's right. It launches you forward. It gives you speed and jump boost, unlike just speed. So it's a little bit more effective. I think it deals the same damage. I'm not willing to try because I don't want to die on the first couple videos I'm making. Then there's the Ice Sword. Now this one is on the finicky side as well. This one adds ice around you, including a snowman who unfortunately died because it saw a snow biome. Then it doesn't really give anything else, just summons ice blocks, which could be useful if you need water, I suppose. Then there's the Meteoric Thunderstorm Sword. This basically spawns a fireball like before, but also shoves you forward a bit. Gives you fire resistance, jump boost, and speed, also a momentary regeneration. Then there's the Ender Fire Sword. This one's interesting. If you right click, it puts you forward, but it also sends out 4 blocks of flame, just like the Fire Sword. So, like I said, certain ones combine. Same with the Ender Thunder Sword. Puts down lightning where you just were, and teleports you, and gives you speed. Same deal with the Ender Wind Sword. It'll give you speed and jump boost and teleport you. So it's pretty much a triple whammy. Let me move on here. The other ones are the Thundershock Sword, the Time Sword, and the Beast Sword. Now, the Thundershock Sword. This one is just as annoying as the Thunder Sword. It basically just gives a much larger thunder area. I don't know what else it could do besides that. It may deal more damage, I'm not certain, and it may not hurt you. I don't quite know. Let me test. No, 0. Now it'll damage you the same, but it will give you speed and jump boost again. Ow. Ow. And it doesn't seem to do any more damage, just seems to be in a more widespread area. The next one is actually incredibly useful. Don't have a bed? No problem! Ta-da! The Time Sword acts as a time changer. Changes it from day to night. And vice versa. Plus, the next sword, plus it also gives you night vision and invisibility. So let me remove that. The next one is the Beast Sword. Now this one is a little bit annoying, actually, because it spawns you an annoying wolf buddy who constantly makes noise. However, it will give you some interesting and good buffs, so let me show those off. Now, unfortunately spawns the dog under the ground. I don't know why that is. So I suggest doing it on a small platform above the ground. Plus, it also gives you speed 4, so you are much faster than you are before. It doesn't really give you anything else. I don't know what debilitating effects it adds, but that's all that mod has to offer. I will talk to you guys again in the next video and the next mod. Sayonara.